Starting us off at number 10 is the fridge. Back in August of 2017, 2 minors in Massachusetts were arrested after a Snapchat they posted on their story went public. The girls were babysitting a baby, and the video features them putting the crying baby in the fridge and then closing the door fully and saying bye. A few seconds later, they open the door and take the baby out. That's literally horrific. I don't know why they would do that, let alone record it and put it on their Snap story. The baby's mum Bonnie said she had to quickly take a shower and asked her niece and her friend to watch a 7-month-old baby for literally 10 minutes. Despite no harm coming to the child, the girls were both charged with child assault, endangerment, and battery with a dangerous weapon. Anytime I hear about anyone hurting a baby, I immediately lose it. Like, I want to kill you. I will kill you. Coming in at number 9 are the cats. This one pissed me off so much, I'm trying hard to not lose it right now. Animal abuse is just the sickest thing you can do. They are literally helpless. They have no idea what you're doing or why you're doing it. It just breaks my heart. They don't even know why you're hurting them. They're just out here trying to trust you. Back in August of 2017, a 26-year-old man from Saudi Arabia posted a Snapchat on his story of him driving around in a neighborhood of Jeddah. In it, he has the nerve to don the cat filter while killing 3 cats in the video. He threw some from his moving car and killed the other one with a rifle. And in it, he said, "For those who tell me it's haram to kill cats, I have to wash 4 cars every week." Haram means forbidden in Arabic. Oh, I am so sorry you have to clean your cars. Why don't you just get your 15 maids to do it for you? Or, I don't know, why don't you just not travel with your cats where they don't have a litter box to go in? Enough users were absolutely horrified with the story that they called on Snap to investigate. That then led to the Saudi Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture to issue a statement about how he acted in complete disregard of Islam and the laws of the country. He was arrested but released on bail, and his family was put under police protection after neighbors started defacing their cars and house out of anger. There's so much despotism in Saudi, I cannot even. No matter what you do, as a local, they will never truly make you face the consequences. I'm over it. At number 8, we have the Snap Stalker. This one comes from Redditor Lena11, who said she was at home one night listening to scary stories on YouTube. Probably what you guys are doing right now. Too close to home. At around 2 AM, a user called Lappy789 added her on Snapchat, and she accepted, thinking it was one of her friends. She rarely ever used Snapchat, and neither did her friends, and her username wasn't posted anywhere, so she just assumed it had to be a friend. Their profile had no tells on it except a score of 7. Your Snapchat score tells you how frequently someone sends a snap. Either way, 10 minutes later, she gets her first snap from the person, and it's a picture of grass. She asks the person who they are, but the user opens and doesn't respond. They then start sending her a series of miscellaneous snaps until she realizes they're all parts of her backyard. Keep in mind, this backyard has a super tall fence around it, so it's not easy to get into, meaning the person was scouting around during the day trying to find a way in. Either way, the user ran to the window but saw nothing outside. Another snap comes through. Freaking out, she runs downstairs and outside into the backyard, but still can't see anyone or anything. Another snap, and this time it was a picture of her sleeping mum on the sofa. Now is when the user started screaming, and so her dad woke up trying to calm her down. He went searching in the backyard with his gun, but again found nothing. The user had been screenshotting all the snaps, so she started showing her parents, and that's when they started freaking out as well. The village she lived in was small, and they had just moved there, so it's not like she even knew anyone. The last snap she got was when she finally got into bed, and it was a picture of her front gate with the caption, "See you soon, bye." After that, she blocked the account and found out it had been deactivated after that night anyway. The next morning, the family found footprints in the mud outside, and it wasn't any of theirs. Filling at number 7 slot is The Attack. In January of this year, 4 people in Cleveland attacked a transgender local with a wooden plank, a brick, and a helmet. They posted the whole assault on Snapchat, and it involved them repeatedly beating and kicking the 20-year-old at an apartment complex near the Brooklyn Center neighborhood. The victim sustained many injuries, including cuts to the face and ears, as well as swelling overall. One of the attackers was 19-year-old Sean Tolbert, who acted as the ringleader of it all. The group had been terrorizing the victim for month, and it all came to fruition when they had to wash Sean's car to repay a $15 debt. During the wash, Sean hit the victim with a wooden plank every time he thought they had missed a spot, and then the other three joined the event. Thankfully, Sean was charged with felonious assault and kidnapping, aggravated menacing, a first-degree misdemeanor, and more. Crimes against the LGBTQIA+ community are always so high, and for what? The way other people identify with themselves or with their sexuality is literally nobody's business but theirs. It's not affecting you in any way, it's not harming you. I don't get why people go out of their way to hurt them. Leave them alone, people. Love is love. Jesus! Now at number 6 are the Vandals. Back in August of 2017, this is like the 5th story that's happened in August of 2017. That was not a good month or year for Snapchat horror stories. Christopher Gonzalez and Gary Higginbotham broke into their alma mater, Lassiter High School. The duo filmed themselves going to a shopping center and stealing extinguishers to spray on cars. A nearby restaurant employee and ex-classmate of theirs recognized them and immediately called the police. The duo's rampage continued to a Cobb County police car when they started jumping on it and smashing it up. They then took the show back to the school. I have no idea how they got in without forced entry, but we're just gonna go with it. They uploaded videos of themselves throwing basketballs through the new ceiling tiles, removing food from the cafeteria freezer, and throwing furniture everywhere. So not only was all this on both their Snap stories, it was also caught on the school's surveillance cameras. Police showed up a little while later, and both were arrested and charged with vandalism, burglary, and terroristic threats. Coming in at number 5 is the evidence. I knew people were dumb, but this should be in a new category of its own. I didn't know this existed. Back in August of 2017, are we surprised by the date or month? 21-year-old Anthony Pee-wee Frederico went to his friend's house and asked her to give him some of her watches. She declined, and then he posted a Snapchat story about how he was gonna break into her house and steal the watches. Thankfully, the girl saved the video, and a few days later she came home to find all the windows smashed and every single watch of hers gone. The damages were around $3,200 for the 16 stolen watches. To make matters worse, or to highlight his stupidity, Anthony posted a photo of himself wearing one of the watches on his story, and so the woman was like, screw this guy. She called the detectives on her case, sent them the picture, and surveillance video proved even more damning evidence of Frederico being the thief. When authorities showed him the Snap story, he claimed he was helping law enforcement find the watches, so they're like, yeah, well you had one of the watches, so why didn't you alert us? He obviously had nothing to say and was charged with felony grand theft, felony burglary, and misdemeanor criminal mischief. Mischief managed. At number 4 is Sean. This one comes from an anonymous person who lived in a town in New Jersey, and this story takes place while they were at Black Bear Fitness, aka the gym. The dude's just doing his sets when he sees this lanky, awkward looking guy walk into the gym. The guy then tries to talk to him while he has his earphones in mid-set. You never talk to someone mid-set. That's like the #1 rule at the gym. Don't do it. Either way, the guy asked him if he needed anything, and the awkward guy started making up a story of how familiar he looked and oh, we must know each other. The guy assured him they did not know each other, but he kept insisting and eventually asked for his Snapchat and Instagram, and the guy ended up giving him his Snap, probably just to make him go away. That night, he got a notification saying Snap from Sean, and he opened it to see Sean looking super close into the camera, almost very creepily. Sean kept snapping him to the point the guy removed him as a friend, but he just snapped him again with the caption, "Why did you remove me?" Now the guy was pissed and blocked Sean, and within minutes Sean had made a new account and added him again and sent another snap. This snap though was a picture of the guy's front lawn with the caption, "Answer me." How did Sean find him, you may ask? The map feature on Snapchat. Have it off, you guys. Turn your GPS off. I turned that off a long time ago. The guy ended up calling 911 and then started hearing Sean tap on the windows. Here is where he went full hero mode. He pulled him in and punched him a few times to knock him out, and when he woke up, the police was already there. Mic drop. Filling our number 3 slot is the private chat. Back in July of 2017, 20-year-old Cosmo Donato was accused of 4 murders in Bucks County, and he confessed to the killings to avoid the death penalty. Cosmo has a long history of mental illness, including schizophrenia, and shared that he was also part of 2 other murders that happened when he was 15. Upon being arrested, it was uncovered that he had had over 30 run-ins with the police in the past 6 years, and was also arrested for having a firearm after being institutionalized. Cosmo would lure the guys to his family farm with a promise of separate deals before killing them. 3 bodies were put in a pig roaster and burned, and the others were apparently buried 12 feet deep using a backhoe. A few days before Cosmo was arrested, he sent 2 snaps of him with a revolver to a private group on Snapchat and even said he was concerned about one of his victims, and I quote, "I know the kid, but yeah, I feel bad for his parents. He's a pill-popping junkie who had 2 DUIs and got popped for stolen bikes and guns. He probably just jumped parole or probation." I mean, that's still no reason to kill someone, but okay, Cosmo. Now at number 2 is the footage. Back in August of 2017, damn, what am I saying? Bad time for Snapchat scandals, they were just so bloody many. An unnamed 20-year-old Ohio local was offered alcohol by her step-grandfather, 77-year-old James Allen. When she was sufficiently drunk, James made several sexual advances towards her, which she posted on Snapchat. In the video, you can clearly see her protesting multiple times, and before long, someone on her list who had seen the story contacted the police. Police Chief Michael Meisler said James let them into the house where they found the girl upstairs completely impaired, and he was then arrested and charged with Goodbye, James Allen. And finally, at number 1 is the stunt. Back in Feb of 2017, 17-year-old Jonathan Chow was shopping at some mall with his friend Ruth. She shared that as they were walking, he saw this ledge and told her to take a Snapchat video as he jumped over the railing. They both thought the ledge was made of concrete, but when he jumps, you can see Ruth's shock as he falls straight through the plasterboard. Jonathan fell down 4 more floors and died on impact. Now I watched the surveillance footage of the story and it genuinely made me really sad. Like, I can't tell you guys how many times my friends and I have just done stupid on Snapchat and just sent it to each other. Like, this really could have happened to anyone.
And it's troubling because a lot of people were able to see what happened inside this apartment behind me, because videos were uploaded to the social media platform Snapchat.
Starting us off with number 10 is The Present. So this creepypasta-esque story takes place too close to home in Scarborough, Ontario. Sarah Winderson was just chilling in her living room talking to her boyfriend on Snapchat. And this guy is exactly who you'd want your daughter to date, you know, straight A student, on the football team, good looking, and just all around fun. But he suffered from intermittent explosive disorder, which causes someone to react super angrily to things that don't require that response at all. Either way, the couple was still happy despite his parents not approving of her. That night he snapped her saying, "I have a present for you, babe," and oh, he just loved presents. He continued on saying, "You know how my parents always hated you, how they always said I was too good for you?" Now any normal person would think, oh, he got them to change their mind. He was like, well, there's no need to worry about them anymore, before snapping her a picture of his parents hanging from the ceiling. Blood was dripping down their bodies and he had gutted them like fish. And she was like, what the hell's wrong with you? She dumped him straight away because he's a freaking psycho, and he sent her another snap saying, "Is that so?" The picture attached was of her own front door, so I'm guessing Sarah was next. You just take that man back so he don't kill you.
Coming at number 9, the Snapchat confession. 26-year-old Isaac Andre Renfro posted incredibly disturbing images to his Snapchat story from inside a Utah apartment that led to a police investigation. Their findings would shake a community to its core. A witness of the Snapchat story told Fox News, I quote, "He showed a pile of blood on the floor and then a table knocked over and made his way to where the body was and showed the lady just laying there in a big pile of blood. He was saying, I'm sorry, I apologize to my family and my kids," and then he just said it was his time to shine. As per reports, authorities were responding to a domestic violence call and arrived at the residence around 10:30 a.m. With the intention of getting everyone out alive, the authorities spoke with Renfro over the phone and shortly after heard gunshots from inside the apartment. A SWAT team would deploy a robot inside to investigate around 2 p.m. and it would be determined that Renfro took the life of his 26-year-old girlfriend, Miranda Schatzinger, and himself. It's unclear how many people saw the Snapchat story before it was taken down, but as per reports, it seems Renfro was inside the apartment with his deceased girlfriend for hours before he took his own life.
At number 8, we have a Snap Map. Now I enjoyed the map feature when it was first released on Snapchat because I got to see where all my friends were around the world, but I turned the feature off very quickly simply because I just don't think people need access to my location like that. And I feel like there's always like those psycho couples that are like, babe, share your location with me, and it's like, dude, relax. Trust issues much? Now either way, back in January of this year, 24-year-old Jersey man Tayshawn Cosme posted a Snapchat of him with a gun and a bunch of money. The police then used Snap Map to locate his car and arrested him the same day for drug and weapons offenses. They also found hollow bullets, a digital scale, and a lot of cocaine in his car. I mean, I'm really no expert or anything, but it's probably best to turn off your Snap Map when you're a drug dealer. You know what I mean? And you have weapons. Just don't do it.
Filling our number 7 slot, Snapchat death list. It sounds just as scary as you think because that's quite literally what this was. A 12-year-old girl from Florida was arrested after it was determined she made a list of students from her school that she was planning to gun down. Apparently the threat was posted on Friday night, with the user claiming she would be following through with the threat the following Monday at school. Upon the list of students being posted to Snapchat, a student informed their parents, who then informed the sheriff's office. One of the threats posted to Snapchat, I quote, indicated that students were not safe and that they would be killed on Monday. Following the 12-year-old's arrest, she would be taken to a juvenile assessment center after admitting to making false threats. She was initially arrested on 2 counts of a written threat to kill and false reporting concerning a firearm. Thankfully, nothing came of the threat and the school operated normally the following Monday, with no incidences occurring, but still, very scary thought.
Now at number 6 is the man. So the night started off like any other night. This guy got home from football practice, had some snacks, and checked his notifications. Surprise, surprise, he didn't have any. He continued on with his night because it was FIFA time, and you already know that means not looking at your phone unless your girlfriend is like bombarding you asking for attention. Me. Now a total of 9 games later, it's now 1 AM and he decides now is the best time to go to bed since he has school the next day. Good luck waking up at 7, mate. Now he checked his 0 notifications before bed and then left his phone on charge on his dresser. He then wakes up at 5:30 miraculously. Actually untrue, I feel like in high school I could also operate on like 0 sleep. Cannot do that now. Either way, he finds his phone unplugged on his bedside table, which is not where he left it the night before, but he just assumed he must have knocked it over during his sleep or something. Somehow he had 12 Snapchat notifications, all from random people he didn't even talk to. He opened them and they all said the same thing. Who's that man laying next to you? Dude, if I woke up and that happened to me, I would move house. Actually, firstly, I would search my house because what if that man is still in my house just hiding in my closets or under my bed? Ugh.
Coming at number 5, Bridgeman. Back in 2017, 2 8th graders were found 18 hours after a search for their bodies was conducted. To this day, the investigation still remains a mystery, but a huge piece of evidence was found on one of the girls' phones. Their Snapchat story showed the last location they were seen, which was along an old abandoned railway. One photo showed one of the girls walking across the railroad, while the other showed just the railroad with a black and white filter over it. Another video on the girl's phone showed a man on the other side of the railroad walking toward them while shouting, "Guys down the hill." It seemed as if this was an order, and as you can imagine, the man in the video was the main suspect. However, he was so far down in the video you could only make out his clothes, which included blue jeans, a blue jacket, a brown hoodie, and a hat. His head was also down, making it even harder to identify who the man was. Over the years, there have been numerous suspects, but to this date, the investigation is still open and ongoing, and hopefully whoever is responsible for this heinous act will be caught soon.
At number 4 is the best friend. One night this girl was laying in bed and she gets a snap notification from her best friend who lived in another city. She was excited, hoping it'd be a double chin picture or something, and believe me, if that snap notification was from me, it would have been, but it was a picture of her best friend sleeping, and there was no way she took it herself since it was from across the room. 10 minutes later, she gets another snap from her, and this time the picture is a bit closer. The same thing happens again, and this time the person is super close to her now. The 4th snap comes in and it's a close-up of her best friend's neck sliced open, soaking her pillow in blood. Her first instinct was to call her friend's parents, who ran into her room to find their dead daughter and nothing else. Upon investigation, police found out that the snaps had been sent to everyone on the girl's list, along with the 5th snap saying, "I'm coming for all of you." Okay. Alrighty. Then the girl changed her number, got a new phone, all of it, but it wasn't enough. One by one her friends started dying, and you couldn't even trace it back to anything since the snaps came from their own phones. The girl woke up one morning to her roommate asking why she opened her window in the middle of the night. She hadn't. So I'm guessing she is next.
Filling our number 3 slot is the ghost of Snapchat. A woman named Lindsay was doing her thing, shaving her legs in the bathroom and listening to some music like we all do. Unfortunately, her phone was vibrating from the music she was shaving to, and it ended up falling in the toilet. This led to her getting a new phone off of Craigslist, so you can imagine things got quite scary from this point on. She got a deal on the phone as it apparently belonged to a recently deceased elderly man, something that clearly didn't bother Lindsay. After a few weeks, Lindsay got a Snapchat request from a stranger. All of her data from her old phone was already transferred through iCloud, so this new request was from a total complete stranger. At first, she would receive random letters, numbers, and emojis which didn't mean much at all. Every Snapchat she sent back went unanswered, and to no surprise, all of her friends denied they had anything to do with this. Then things got weird when Lindsay was working on her history paper one night. Her roommates had gone on a camping trip, so she was home alone, and that's when the account started sending her Snapchats of what appeared to be her window. The next was a silhouette of her at her desk. Very weird. Lindsay checked out her window and saw nothing but heard the front door opening. Being on the 2nd floor of the 3-story house, she ran to the top floor, grabbed a hammer, and locked herself in her roommate's room with a dresser in front of the door. door, just kind of giving it a good old push. The snaps continued coming in, but Lindsay refused to open them. Still, she heard steps coming upstairs and a sinister laugh. Every time she rang for 911, she got a busy tone, and finally when she decided to delete the Snapchat app, she heard a scream. Lindsay then decided, with the phone being completely useless to her, that she was going to hammer it. With each strike, she heard another scream until the voice and footsteps were gone. Lindsay opened the door, found her home ransacked, and ran to the neighbor's house, who called the cops. The authorities found no proof of forced entry or anyone else in the home, but did find puncture wounds in all the walls and photos. Apparently the investigation is still ongoing, and the phone has not been found since.
Now at number 2 is Ahmaud Arbery. So if you're unaware, on the 23rd of February, a 25-year-old unarmed black man called Ahmaud Arbery was shot to death while jogging. The assailants were 3 white residents of the neighborhood: Travis McMichael, his dad Gregory, and William Bryan. The whole thing was videotaped as William shouted racist slurs at Ahmaud's dead body. Now the Glynn County Police Department claimed the Brunswick District Attorney's Office advised them not to arrest anyone, which is shocking. How do you not arrest them for murdering a man in cold blood unprovoked? Turns out the DA George Barnhill had connections with his son and Gregory McMichael, and that's why he wanted no arrests to be made. He recused himself from the case, and eventually the 3 men were indicted on 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and more. The fact it took 74 days to arrest the McMichaels is beyond me. Then a report circulated that Travis's sister Lindsay posted a Snapchat photo of Ahmaud's dead body, citing her reasons as being a huge fan of true crime. Like, I'm sorry, just because you like true crime doesn't give you any reason to snap an image of someone your brother and dad just murdered. He's not a freaking trophy animal. This one pissed me off, you guys.
Finally, at number 1, the Snapchat hostage. In 2018, a boy was held hostage, and those responsible for holding him were sending demands to his family over Snapchat. Apparently, the victim was an acquaintance of those who held him hostage, and thankfully, he would be returned to his family safely unharmed. However, prior to police tracking down and arresting the 5 people involved, which included a 15 and 16-year-old, as well as a 22-year-old and 2 19-year-olds, it was a scary scene. As per reports, a family member notified the police after images of the victim were sent to the family through Snapchat, being held at gunpoint with a demand for money in exchange for the boy's safe return. Everyone involved in the case is believed to have known each other, and this didn't appear to be a random incident. When all was said and done, the 5 people involved were facing a slew of charges, including kidnapping for ransom or service, uttering threats to cause death or bodily harm, possession of a loaded firearm, extortion, assault with a deadly weapon, among a handful of others.
Starting off this countdown, we have the cursed snack. He's not. Oh, it's in there. Oh, does he swallow it? Oh, he spat it out. Thank the Lord he spat that out. But that is a massive spider. Did you see that? Ugh, I bet its guts just like gushed in its mouth. Man, see, this is how new viruses are formed, okay? Like going around eating insects like that and no thank you. That is a cursed snack. That is, stay away from that. Don't eat bugs, please. In our 9th spot, we have YouTube 666. This video is based off of the creepypasta and urban legends surrounding the dark side of YouTube. So legend goes that there's a cursed YouTube channel that can be accessed by typing youtube.com/666 into your browser. At first, the message will appear saying this user does not exist, or that their account is now suspended. All you gotta do then is keep refreshing the page. If you do it enough times, the link will work. And soon you'll be able to watch a number of creepy and haunted videos. They're pretty disturbing. Believe me, you don't want to watch them. And in our 8th spot, we have the hostage. Why does this kind of look real? The acting is good. Maybe he's not even acting, maybe he's actually like... Oh, I thought it was gonna pop up. Okay. That person's acting is like spot on because I truly believe that they're being held captive. Now I don't know what's going on with that little faceless demon in the background, but that needs to chill and just not do what it's doing. It's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up. It's got 2 heads. A little plot twist in the end. Oh, you're done. You're done. Stop crying. You just, oh, my neck is hurting just thinking about that. Well, let's hope that this is fake. No, I'm just kidding. Apparently this is from like a movie or something like that. Kind of want to watch the movie now, but at the same time, I don't want to watch the movie. Because what's going on with the dude with 2 faces? What is that? No, thank you. No. Coming in at number 7, we have the found footage.
Point in a direction. Occasionally also, he stops to photograph roomfuls of bones, which means that he's very, very deep.
Back in 1990, an old dusty camcorder was found abandoned in the Paris catacombs. The camera appeared to have been there for quite some time, so they decided to inspect it. But what they found was pretty terrifying. The video shows an unidentified male explorer wandering around the catacombs. This black and white video starts off in a calm manner as he wanders down the maze looking at bones and even picking up a skull and just like analyzing it.
Human bones.
However, the video takes a twist when he encounters a painting of a figure on the wall with their limbs spread apart. After this discovery, the man becomes more frantic and we really don't know why. People think maybe he realized that he was lost or that he felt something ghostly was following him. You can tell he's in a panic and just wants to get out of the catacombs. But sadly, it's believed that the explorer never made it out, and these are his final moments. In our 6th spot, we have the shepherd. Those aren't real. Isn't that Marshmallow? Like the DJ or the singer, or what is he considered? I guess he's a DJ. Anyway, I'm pretty that's Marshmallow. He's very strong, but those are totally animated sheeps or goats or whatever. People are gonna come at me. Don't know who had the idea to do this, just all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pretend that I'm carrying sheeps around, and does he need them as a prop for his new music video? Like, what's going on here? I don't get it. It's just me hanging out with the kids. Get it? Anyway, we are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Shay St. John. If you've been on YouTube for a while, then chances are you know who/what this is and what video I'm referring to. So legend goes that Shay St. John was a supermodel who one day was left disfigured after a train accident. So she rebuilt her body using mannequin parts. Now honestly, all videos on this channel are pretty disturbing, but one that was deemed the creepiest was one titled The Hand Thing. In this video, we see Miss Shay making weird hand movements while making some weird sounds.
Shit, I can't stop doing the thing. What is it? God, I heard you doing the hand thing.
I mean, in the end, this video was created by a surrealist artist named Eric Fournier, but still, a lot of people either find this video very, very funny or very, very creepy. Coming in at number 4, we have Cursed Santa. No! Oh, it's just an eye. Okay. I thought it was something else. I thought it was gonna have to be censored. Does that have to be censored? I don't know. It looks a little inappropriate going on there. That has officially ruined Santa Claus and Christmas for me. That is disgusting. Disgusting. That is gross. Oh, why do people have to do that? And he looks so evil. He's like, this is actually what's underneath my hat. They did that for Aladdin too, like, what's going on with his pants? It's not his pants, if you know what I'm saying. No thank you. That's a cursed video. In our 3rd spot, we have Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. Like I said before, it gets too expensive and
it does.
I have to start eating at home more.
Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster, was an American serial killer who murdered and dismembered 17 males from 1978 to 1991. While in this disturbing home video, we see Jeffrey's father filming his son, asking him a couple of questions, like what he's been up to lately. Then he also comments on the size of Jeffrey.
Well, you're looking good. Grandma was saying that she thought that you got quite a bit thinner, but you look fit. I don't know.
Well, I've been surviving mostly on McDonald's food. It's just...
And the video ends with Jeffrey telling his dad that he should eat at home more often.
It does.
I have to start eating at home more.
Well, apparently a couple hours before this video was filmed, Jeffrey had already killed 7 men and ate some of their body parts. So no, he hasn't been eating at McDonald's like he said in the video. He's been eating his victims, and that's so disgusting. Like, it makes the video so disturbing when you think of that. In our second spot, we have I Feel Fantastic. In 2004, a video titled I Feel Fantastic was uploaded to YouTube. This video features a very, very scary mannequin-esque woman named Tara. Tara is very creepy looking and just stares at the camera while her head and lips move, singing to some weird song about feeling fantastic. The song alone is very agitating to listen to and is probably cursed. The robot lady thing was created by John Bergeron, who programmed her to sing the songs that he writes. Some of the lyrics include "Please leave" and "Run, run, run." The shots of Tara are intercut with her in different outfits and like weird outdoor shots. Now, there's a lot of cursed theories about this video. Some people believe that the creator of this video has committed murder and that Tara is wearing the victim's clothes. They also believe that the outside random shots that don't really seem to tie into the video actually show where the victims' bodies are buried. On top of that, the creator also left a cryptic message in the video's description. He makes a reference to Pygmalion. Pygmalion was a Greek god who thought women were tainted and unworthy of love. He then decided to build his ideal woman and fall in love with her. So people believe that Tara was once the woman he loved, and then when he found that she had too many flaws, he murdered her and created Tara to replace her. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Eye Monster. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I knew it! Oh, I knew it was gonna pop at me. Is that the spider that the guy ate in the first video? I hope not. Not very tasty. I don't think it's very tasty. Oh man, no, that's actually disgusting. Like, can I watch it one more time? It's like I weirdly want to see it again. I feel cursed. Like, why am I drawn to this? No, can you imagine that? Just insects crawling out of, Now I want to know, is it an eyeball spider monster? Or did the spider go into the eye and then remove it and now it's like a form of them? I don't know. Either way, it's disgusting and cursed.